Assalamu alaikum, dear students. How are you? Hopefully, you are fine and you're doing great with your studies. So, today we'll talk about narration and its narration segment 2. In earlier class, we discussed narrations, definitions, types, and couple of rules. Today, we'll go through particular rules too. So, do you remember what is narration? What's the other word you can replace for narration? So narration means speech. So there are two types of speech we know. One is direct speech, another is indirect speech. Direct speech means where exactly the speaker's words are quoted with a quotation mark, and indirect speech means if a person or other person narrates this to someone else. That is indirect speech. So we learned narration means speech, passing message to someone, and if it is exactly quoted, then it is direct speech, and if it is narrated by someone to the medium, it is indirect speech. So we had gone through so far 5 rules in earlier class, our first class. Today we'll go through some other rules. Well, so rule 6 says if there are 2 or more than 2 past tenses in the direct speech, they do not undergo any change but only change the persons. So usually we have one tense in quotation or the speaker's words, but if there are 2 or more than two past tense, that means those tenses will not undergo any change, only the persons will be changed. So simply, if 2 or more than 2 past tense in direct speech, there will be no change rather than persons only. What the example says, George said, I came home, took bath and ate my meal. So you see that 3 actions here. I came home, took bath and ate my meal. So 3 actions of George are mentioned here in past tense. So according to the rules, 2 more past tense here. So in this case, what will happen? Those tenses will not undergo any change, only the subject, person will have change. So if you want to change it, what will happen? George said, I came home, took bath and ate my meal. So we can change it. George said that he came home, took bath and ate his meal. So here you notice, came home, took bath, ate meal, they remain as they were. Only I and my, these 2 subjects or persons, means subject-related words, pronouns got changed. So because of I we took he, and because of my we took his. So as it is George, that's why it is his and he. So simply, if you find 2 or more than 2 past tense in direct speech, and in case of changing to indirect speech, those tenses will not undergo any change, only the persons will be changed. That's all. It's very simple. Now rule 7. Rule 7 says how to change any speech that actually inside the quotation mark there is tag question. So you see here, he said to me, you are going to the playground, aren't you? So we learned actually tag question in other grammar segment. Here we will not discuss about it. It's actually asking for assurance, for an assurance whether the things are right or wrong. So what I said, whether the things are right or wrong. So here you can say whether the things, or whether it was true or whether it is false, or that means asking for an assurance. So what I said, he said to me, you are going to the playground, aren't you? So it is also the flavor of the sentence is interrogative, so you will take a repeating verb as asked. So he asked me whether it was true that I was going to the playground. So other tenses will be changed as usual, subjects will be, persons will be changed as usual. So only because of aren't you means tag question you will put whether it is true. So if we find any tag question inside the indirect speech, so in case of changing to indirect speech, we'll take whether as like interrogative sentence, and it was true or it was false, this much, just for assurance. Then other tenses and persons will be changed as usual. So you got it. Just taking repeating verb as interrogative and whether or if, then it is true or false, this much, any statement, and then others as usual. Well, so let's move to rule 8. Rule 8 says all the third person pronouns, they will not undergo any change, they will remain unchanged. Means you delivered or you produced a speech and you talk about other persons, third persons, you are not saying about yourself, that become those third person pronouns, they will not undergo any change, they will remain unchanged. How? We see an example. He said she is busy with her toy. So he said, he doesn't say that I am busy, he said she is busy, so it is third person. So what happens in this case? Those pronouns will be changed, but those pronouns will not be changed, only the tense could be changed. So what it comes, he said that she, it will be as it was, she was, because of is we took was, busy with her toy. So you notice here she and her, these two third person pronouns remain unchanged. So this is the rule actually we need to discuss, that if we find any third person pronoun in a direct speech, that very time those will undergo any, those will not undergo any change, means they will remain unchanged. So as we see the example, she is busy with her toy, she and her, they will remain unchanged. So he said that she was busy with her toy, only the tense got changed. So how did you find it? I think it's very simple. Well, so now let's move to rule 9. Rule 9 says if we find so in direct speech, we'll take that's why, means that is why. If you find but, then we'll take dissatisfaction. So these two words are frequently used, you will find those multiple times. So if you find so, actually it explains what's the reason, so you can say that that's why or that is why. And if you find but, that better you need to write with dissatisfaction. So whenever we use the word but anywhere, we are not satisfied with the contents or the things, that's why we expressed our dissatisfaction. So in this case, rule 9 says if you find so and but in direct speech, and whenever you do change them to indirect speech, you will take that is why for so and do dissatisfaction for but. How it happens? Let's see an example. He said to me, I am unwell, so I shall not go to school. So first it is reason, then it is result. Means what's the reason why she will not or he will not go to school, it is mentioned. So it is actually showing reasons. So for reasons we take that is why. So he said to me, I am unwell, so I shall not go to school. So if you want to change it, so what comes? He told me that he was unwell and that is why he would not go to school. So simple. Others subjects persons tense will be changed as their frequent rules, conventional rules. Just because of so, we'll take that is why, means we will express the reason. So I repeat, in case of so, we'll take that is why. In case of but, we'll take with dissatisfaction. So he said to me, I am unwell, so I shall not go to school. She told me that he was unwell and that is why he would not go to school. It's very simple. Another one, the boy said, I have come to chop your wood, but you are too small to chop wood, said the woman. So here you see the word but is used. So the boy said, I have come to chop your wood, but you are too small to chop the wood, said the woman. So what happens in this case? But is used. So for but we will take with dissatisfaction. So the answer comes, the boy said that I have come to chop your wood. So he had come to chop her wood. So for I we took he, for have we took had, and come past participle from it is as it was. To chop, for you we take her, to chop her wood. Then with satisfaction, with dissatisfaction, just because of but we took the word with dissatisfaction. The woman told him that he was too small to chop the wood. So as we learnt that because of but we will take with dissatisfaction, so we found it here. So the boy said, I have come to chop your wood, but you are too small to chop the wood, said the woman. So woman started saying with but, means woman showed an dissatisfaction, expressed her dissatisfaction with the word but. So whenever we to change it to indirect speech, for but we will take with dissatisfaction. That's all. Well, so this rule 9 is very simple. Just for so we will take that is why, and for but we will take with dissatisfaction. These two things to remember. Now let's discuss rule 10. So rule 10 says assertive sentence with question mark. So if you find any assertive sentence but it actually expresses question mark, that very time but its conventional structure is not interrogative sentence, that be time we'll change it, added being surprised, and we'll follow the other conventional rule of changing interrogative sentence. How? Let's see an example. He said to me, you are angry with me. So if it should be a conventional interrogative sentence, it should be like, are you angry with me or aren't you angry with me? But here you notice it is like assertive sentence, you are angry with me, but a question mark is put given. That's why it comes interrogative sentence with question, assertive sentence with question mark. So means the flavor of the sentence is assertive. So in this case, what to do? So being surprised, he asked me if I was angry with him. So for the question mark we'll take being surprised, and as it had this flavor of interrogative sentence, so repeating verb will be asked. So being surprised, he asked me if I was angry with him. Well, so very simple. If assertive comes with a structure flavor of interrogative sentence, and whenever we change it to interrogative speech, we will take being surprised, and others subjects or tense will follow the structure of interrogative sentence. That's all. Now let's move rule 11. So well, if you see, if used an inverted comma, omit them and do in general way. So if you find the word well, so what you will do, you will omit them, and means you will ignore them, means no need to write it, and others part you will do in conventional way, general way. So what it comes, the teacher said, what is it? Well, Raven, I shall reward you. So it is in direct speech. At the very beginning of the sentence, the word well is used. So in this case, whenever we to change it to interrogative, indirect speech, so what to do? The teacher told Raven that he would reward him. So for shall we took would, for I we took he, for you we took him. But before the Raven, the word well, it got omitted. So if we find well anywhere in direct speech, that item, in case of changing to indirect speech, we will omit it. That's all. So rule 11 is very simple. Just for well, if we find well in direct speech, in case of changing to indirect speech, it will be omitted.